Welcome to another episode of
The Epic Family Road Trip.
Good morning. It is really gotten cold now. The weather has flipped. It's hovering during the day just above zero, just above freezing, so it's probably 32, 31 Fahrenheit. At night it drops down to the low 20s Fahrenheit and -5, -6. We've shut down the water in the cabin, so now we're moving to our winter water, which we'll do very shortly today. We're gonna get that tank we bought and pump water out of the lake and get that filled up, and we're kind of roughing it in that we'll be carrying buckets. So I'll show you when we get inside what we're doing for hot shower and for washing dishes, but we're pumping water out of a bucket. So we bring in 4 or 5 buckets of water, and that'll do us per day. So lots happening this week as we watch winter roll in. We're expecting probably a dusting of snow over the next couple of days. The lake is still liquid, so we still have 2 boats in the water, but we're keeping a close eye on that, and at some point we'll be pulling the boats out, and then here we are until full freeze up. So it's really new for us, all of this, and that period of freeze up where we can't get off the island or anything. We know we have enough supply, so we're cool with that, but I don't know, it feels like we're going out into the mountains and way up off the grid, and that kind of, you have butterflies in your stomach. So that's kind of the same feeling we have about that, but we know it's all going to go well. It's just something very new, and it's a whole adventure that we're embarking on. But yeah, let's go take a look at the water, and we'll get started on this week's projects. All right, so that's on there now. It's a simple garden hose attachment. So we'll just cut a short piece of hose, and that's what we'll use. It'll just gravity feed out of there. So while that tank is filling, I'll tell you what we're doing. That's actually just temporary. That's a system that we put in place for this year because we didn't have time to put in what we're hoping to install next year, and we didn't have the electrical backup, like the batteries and all the solar system yet. So we'll get that installed this year, and that'll free us up next year to be able to install a water system that can run all winter long. What it requires, it's very similar to our existing water system that we have to winterize and shut down, except in the winter there's a heater cable that goes from the house on the intake water hose from the house and through 4 feet, estimated 4 feet of ice. We wouldn't get that much, but that's how much heater cable you put on it. And then below that the water out never freezes, and then it goes to a submersible pump, which is underwater. And so it's on demand, and when you turn on the water, or when you're in your tank inside, your pressure tank in the heated section of the house gets to a certain pressure, it would then kick on that underwater pump. It would pump the tank full again, and it would shut off. But then what happens next is there's an air tank inside, which blasts air down that line and empties it out so it can't freeze. So it's got the dual, both emptying by the air pressure, but also having that heater on. Neat technology that they've been developing for these type of off-grid places. Looks like we're almost half full, so it doesn't take long to fill up. And I honestly, I've got it on an idle, so it's just pumping at the lowest amount. I could rev that up and probably fill it a lot faster. And when it's really cold, like -20 in the winter, we'll probably fill it as fast as we can and get back inside. So. All right, that's all it took. It's full. We'll let you know how long that lasts. We don't know if it's a week or 2 weeks or a couple of days, but we'll find out very soon. Now we've got to drain all the lines, drain the pump properly, and we'll store it in the new shed that we built. That thing's really come in handy since we built it, and things like this, you know, stay warm in there along with the batteries. So yeah, we're gonna properly put this away, and that's on to the next job. So Carol loves lanterns. She found a antique one, which she's cleaned up and restored pretty much. And she has a metal hanger, which I'll show you, but she found a picture the other day of someone who used an antler like this to hang it. And that's such a cool idea. We're gonna try it here. So I just drilled 2 holes, and then I'll get some deck screws and stick it in and see if it works. That looks cool.
There you go.
That looks good. What do you think? You like it?
Yes, I like it a lot.
There's your antler and your lantern, 2 of your favorite things.
It's like it was meant for it. That's nice. Little things like that make the whole project complete.
I'll lift up, you good about it. So most of today we've been doing odd jobs, repairing a little door here and there, in the boathouse, down at the sauna there were some little things. So just been rummaging around getting last minute stuff done and repaired before snow. But right now we're hanging some Christmas lights. It's our favorite time of year. Yeah, we're a bit early. We usually wait till American Thanksgiving and then do it, but we want to get it done before it gets too much colder and too snowy. And Carol's in town getting some supplies, last minute stuff, and so we're going to try to get as many of these up as we can, and then kind of when she comes in it'll be just getting dark and we'll plug them in and surprise her with it. So let's get on the front. The clips work fine on the steel, these little clips that we bought, but going up the side I'm going to have to just put little finishing nails and make hooks, and I don't know, we'll figure it out. Helping me? Really good try. For now, we'll just put the cogs on top here. So if the temperature kind of keeps cool like this, the way it's forecasted to do, then this is probably the snow that's going to stay. So we'll get a bit more tomorrow, and then who knows, right? The lake is still liquid. I'm going to start taking temperatures of the water for you guys so you can see what time of year it is and what temperature the lake is at, and kind of follow the progression towards when it freezes over. But we've got our Christmas lights up, at least on the front. We're probably going to do that little peak up there. That'll look really nice. Next time we get into town before freeze up, we'll pick up a few more lights. And but man, we feel good. We're in good shape as far as don't slip, Linda. As far as preparation, we got food, we got lots of firewood, we got propane. We're going to grab a few more of those. Batteries and all that solar stuff we're probably going to end up doing next week, but I've got a guy coming in to help us out with that, an electrician. We're just not qualified. We like I said, we could probably do it, but we want to make sure it's done right. and so that's exciting. And then we're picking up our snow machines, which are snow dogs, and we'll show you how those work. They're kind of a workhorse of the snow machine. They're not like a recreational snowmobile. We want to eventually get those too, but for now we're looking for something that can drag firewood. We can go, you know, exploring around the lake, go ice fishing, go camping. So they have some benefits, like they're lighter, a lot lighter than a snowmobile. So you could probably be on the ice fishing before you'd ever get on with the snowmobile. And price-wise, they're you can buy two for the price of one snowmobile. So we always want two of every machine, because you don't want someone to be out there and then we don't have a machine at the island, or you know, the boys go out exploring and you want that buddy system. If something happens to one machine, you can at least get back to camp or back to the cabin with the other one. So anyway, we're trying to think through all this winter living stuff, and we're taking you guys with us every step of the way. Time to go inside and warm up. Yeah, buddy. There you go. Oh, careful, Lando. Don't knock it over, buddy.
There? How about?
That looks good. Be able to see it at the window.
I'm grabbing wood from the shed over here because we're trying to save all the wood that's right beside our house for the dead of winter, so we don't have to walk farther. We can just go right outside the door.
So far we're using about 5 gallon pails a day for dishwashing. We use more when we're showering, dishwashing, flushing toilets, all that kind of stuff, and filtering it for drinking water. Right now we're just dipping in the lake because it's still liquid, and we're saving the water we pumped up for when things freeze over. But yeah, I read somewhere once a quote, I can't remember it exactly, but something about you appreciate every drop of water when you've carried it by hand from a lake or stream like they did in the old days. This unit is called a base camp water heater by Mr. Heater, the same folks that make the Mr. Heater buddy heaters that we used in the rooftop tents all the time. But it's a great unit, and it has an internal rechargeable battery. So right now we're not running off of any power, just the internal battery. All right, so I just dropped the little submersible pump in there. We just leave it in there all day when we're doing normal operations here. And then you just turn on the pump. You can hear it kick in and it starts spraying. And at the same time, there's a little propane tank on the back. Right now we're using the little green propanes, but we have an adapter to put it to a 3-pounder or even a barbecue tank if we wanted to, but those little green ones last over a week. And now the water's heating up, and you can see the temperature here, and depending on how hot you want to get it going, you can also turn it down. There's a little knob here for temperature control. So it's super handy. There you go, you got running hot water in the cabin in the winter. Another really cool feature is a side hot water tap here, and you can adjust the flow. If you just want to get hot water straight out of the tap, the exact same operation happens in the shower. You just turn that on, you get nice hot water. Over the years, we've learned how to shower what we call a camp shower. Being on the road when we're overlanding, you conserve as much water as possible. We do the same thing here. So for me or the boys, 1 5-gallon pail is plenty. For the girls with longer hair and so on, we always bring in 2 pails for them, but they've never used the full amount. So it's a wonderful system. Now I'm just going to show you how we filter the same water for drinking water. So just like when we're on our overland trips, we use these Lifesaver jerry cans. We dip into a lake or a stream and fill them up, and then we go ahead and pump them up, get some pressure in there. Then you just turn the tap, and we fill up our water jug there, and that's what we use for drinking water. We're going to make a coffee now this morning, and we just fill up our coffee canister just directly out of the Lifesaver. So we have purified, delicious water straight in the lake. So we are getting really close to freeze up now, so we're going to have a final list making session. So we've been going off a list, making sure we've got everything planned for the freeze up period, which could be 3 weeks, could be 4. We don't know. You never know. Every year is different. So during that time, of course, we can't go shopping. We can't leave the island. And so we've got to have everything prepared. And it's everything from first aid, medicines that we, standard medicines that we may or may not need. Of course, food is the big one you've got to have lined up. Heat, shelter, all the stuff you need for to be comfortable and self-sufficient. So we're gonna make a coffee and then have a meeting to go once more over our list, make sure we've got everything, and we've got one more shopping trip that we're gonna do today or tomorrow, and get all the final supplies. And then we'll be ready. We can just enjoy the onset of winter.
So this morning we're making our new cabin blend that we are really excited about. It's a cinnamon and pecan flavor to it, and it's a medium roast. It smells amazing and it tastes delicious. Hope you guys like it. Unfortunately, it's just in the US right now, but soon coming to Canada.
All right, so the main point of this meeting is to go over the last shopping and supplies. Some stuff we might have to buy, although we've got almost everything, I think, at this point. Some stuff we have to bring out of the vehicles, right? So you were saying we have one of our med bags here.
And one's in the Jeep.
Okay.
And also Lando's med kit is in the Jeep as well.
Okay. So we'll probably get those today or tomorrow. We'll get a list of dried goods. So do you have a pretty good inventory of what we've got
Yeah.
versus what
Caroline and I have been working on that.
Your basic stuff like Tylenol, Advil, in case someone gets a
Fever
fever
or
or something. Those
We
are
have lots of
important.
those.
We have quite a bit. Let's just make sure we have enough. I'd rather have double what we think we'd need. Pepto, you know, if you ever got really bad heartburn, there's nothing worse than not being able to have Tums or something around. I'm pretty sure we have a lot.
We have a
but
couple
we have-
Tums and a couple Peptos.
Yeah, we're pretty set on that.
And then we have the full Fieldcraft bags, which have anything for major
Anything
trauma
and
and all
everything,
that, you know.
yeah.
Like, so,
We're
and
gonna-
even splints and all that in case you bust something or
Good.
get hurt. So.
We're gonna have to be extra cautious during that time, of course, but you still want to be prepared for the worst.
But we do have that guy's phone number for the hovercraft as well, if we need an emergency.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
There's a hovercraft that could be deployed and my brother's helicopter, right? Worst case scenario, they can land on the dock and pick us up. But the main thing is global rescue. They are on our beck and call, you know. So if we had a medical issue of any kind, we can call them, get advice over the phone. They'll walk you through it. They'll jump on a video call. You'll get access to a doctor on a video call, which is awesome. And then, of course, worst case scenario, they would evacuate us off the island, or one of us.
We were talking about medical stuff earlier and forgot to mention most of my type 1 supplies. But a while ago we got around 6 vials, which will last more than most of the winter. So next time we're in town for the last run, we can grab a few extra. But we're already at a good supply as far as like actual vials go for my pods. And then in case anything goes down on my PDM or pods, I have backup long-acting insulin. So I have regular Humalog and then the long-acting.
Lots of syringes, all that.
Lots of all that from years ago.
Battery, in
Lots of
case the battery
supplies.
goes out in your PDM.
Yeah, it's all AAAs, which we have tons of, so I'm solid. as
Good.
far as that goes.
So Dan, are you going to be splitting and keep on chipping away at that pile over there?
Well, as far as our wood goes, we have a decent supply already. We have it all stacked up on the cabin. That's all finished. All the hardwood's done. All that's left is that little stack of pine wood down there, but it's just taking me a while to split because it's super knotty. But once we get through that, I'll just split it up into kindling, and then we should have enough for all winter.
Awesome.
So we're just about to the shop that sells the snow dogs, and yeah, we're gonna pick them up. We had to rent a U-Haul. The Worsley's in for some oil changes and just different stuff after the big trip up to the Arctic Ocean. We're supposed to get hit by a decent amount of snow tonight, or actually the weather advisory was for this afternoon, so we're hoping to get here and back across the lake before that big storm hits. All right, we're here, so let's go check them out.
All right, so we just packed up the snow dogs on the trailer, and we're gonna be taking them back. They look beauty, even just seeing some of the demo videos inside of their capabilities on ice, but then even without snow, which is something I didn't really know. Yeah, they just look awesome. Really excited to get them back and try them out. Obviously, it's gonna be a little while before we can take them out on the ice and go ice fishing or anything like that, but we could take them around on the island, test them out, and get everything set up the way we need it. So we got the 2 snow dogs, 2 sleds with the extra seats so we can sit down as well, because usually you stand with them. And then I got this beauty hat.
Alright, snow dogs have arrived. It's pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to be able to lift them onto the pontoon or not, but we'll give it a try. If not, we could put them both on the barge. So let's see what we can do.
I believe said to put the parking brake.
Definitely one of the benefits of a unit like this is they're very versatile. You can put them in the back of the Jeep and go ice fishing somewhere. You can fit 1, probably even 2 in the pontoon. So, and they're not that heavy. 2 of us lifted them in. That's definitely can't do that with a snowmobile. We even got one in the small boat. We still have to get across the lake, of course, but I think it's well under the weight rating for the boat. So now the 2 sleds we'll put in the pontoon and we'll head back to the island. The whole side. Okay. Nice, you got it. All right, that's another big check mark off our list. We've got our snow machines on the island, so when the ice does freeze over and it's thick enough, and we'll keep testing it, and it's safe to go on, we have a way of getting back to the Jeeps. So tomorrow we'll show you how these things work. It's pretty late now. We're going to put the boats away and shut her down for the day. So yeah, I can't wait to show you. And you know what? It's going to take a bit of practice for the boys to run them around the island here. We have a bit of firewood to get from the other side of the island. So there's a maple tree that came down in a storm. We're going to cut it up and drag in the wood and put these machines to use right away.
been taking it about halfway around the island now. They're great machines. They're going to be an excellent thing to have. I can just envision having a couple more little sleds behind us when we're ice fishing, like taking ice fishing gear out, or having fish to bring back to the cabin, or wood, or anything like that. They just seem so perfect.
And in the meantime,
We'll see you down the road.
This is Lynn. He's poopy.
Let's go walking.